Hi everyone, hope you're well. Right, what we're doing today is completing the square. Now completing the square is when you've got something like x squared plus 6x plus 19, something along those lines. So you've got a quadratic equation. You've got to put it into a bracket, so it's x something squared. And then you've usually got a little something, a number on the end. So I want to have a quick look at what happens when we've got a squared bracket, when we've got a bracket like x plus 4 squared. Now x plus 4 squared means x plus 4 times by itself. And whichever way you do multiplying out the brackets, you're going to x times x is going to get you x squared. You're always going to do this 4 times x and the x times 4, so you're going to get plus 4x and plus 4x. So you're going to get two lots of that plus 4x. And you're also going to get the, I'm going to write that as 4 squared rather than plus 16, because that'll help us understand a little bit later. So if I've got this thing here, I'm always going to double this number. So if we have a look at the first example of completing the square today, a question will say, complete the square for x squared plus 6x minus 2. And we've got to put that into something squared. Now we know that having just done what we've just done, we're going to do this and then this. And when we simplify, we're going to add those two things together, but they're going to be the same thing, and it's going to give us 6x. So therefore, it's going to need to be plus 3 and plus 3. So if we did that, we're going to get x squared plus 6x, and we're going to get this plus 9. But we don't want that plus 9, we need it to be minus 2. So what we do is we always, whenever we write this out, so if we're going to do completing the square, from what we've just done there, we're going to write out x plus 3 squared. So whatever the x is, we half that, and we're going to put it there. So it's going to be x plus 3 squared, but we know that if we did that, we'd get this plus 9. So what we do is we always take away this 3 squared. So we take away whatever this thing is squared. Then that's going to leave us with x squared plus 6x, which we don't want. So whatever's in the question, we just put it on the end. So it's going to be the minus 2 on the end. Then what we do is we tidy that up a little bit. So we're going to get x plus 3 squared, minus 9 minus 2. So start off at 0, take away 9, take away 2 is going to be minus 11. And that's how you complete the square for this thing here. So let's do another example of that. Let's say we've got x squared minus 12x plus 6. So we know it's going to be square brackets. So when we multiply out the nose and the mouth using the smiley face method, we're going to get something and something and simplify that, both those things, to minus 12x. So we do half of this thing here, so it's going to be x minus 6 squared. And imagine we have the two brackets, x minus 6, x minus 6. What's going to happen is when you multiply that out, you're going to get minus 6 times minus 6, which is plus 36, which we don't want. We don't want that plus 36. So I'm going to take away 6 squared. So I'm going to take away 36. And then that brings us back to just x squared minus 12x, but we want that plus 6. So whatever's on the end here, we put on the end here. So it's going to be x minus 6 squared, minus 36 plus 6, and then we are going to simplify that. So x minus 6 squared minus 30. And that should be it. Okay. So when we do A-level maths, there's going to be harder versions of these as well. So if you have a look at the harder example, we've got 2x squared minus 5x plus 1. And then what they'll say is they'll say write it in the form of p x plus q squared plus r. Or they might use different letters for p, q and r. So basically we've got to make it look like completing the square, which is what we've just done. There's a number in front of it, well p in this case. So what we do there, the thing that makes this one trickier is the fact that we've got a coefficient of x squared. So what we do is we're going to stick some square brackets around everything with x's in. and then we're going to factorise out the 2. So if I do that, I'm going to get 2, so 2 times x squared is going to be 2x squared, and then minus 2 lots of 5 over 2x is 5x. So 2 times 5 is 10, divided by 2 is 5. So all we've done here as our first step, is really the only extra step, is we factorise out the 2, and then we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to do completing the square for whatever's inside here. So it's going to be 2 lots of, then we've got to do half of 5 over 2, and if you can't do that in your head, just do a half times by 5 over 2, which gives us 5 over 4. So x minus 5 over 4 squared, and then we've got to square this and take it away. So 5 over 4 squared means 5 over 4 times by 5 over 4. That's going to be 25 over 16. And I'm going to put that plus 1 on the end. Now the next thing we do is we're going to multiply the 2. So I'm going to have 2 lots of this bracket, which is going to be 2 lots of x minus 5 over 4 squared, 2 lots of 25 over 16. So again, feel free just to do some extra working on the side if you're not confident on your mental maths. So 2 times by 25 over 16, that's the same as 2 over 1, so that's going to be 50 over 16, or 25 over 8. So minus 25 over 8, then I've got that plus 1. Now rather than putting plus 1, so I'm going to need to simplify minus 25 over 8 plus 1. So I'm going to write 1 as 8 over 8. Because 8 eighths are a whole 1. So now it makes it easier to simplify. So if I've got 0, if I do minus 25 eighths plus 8 eighths, my math is correct, it's going to be minus 17 eighths. So the final answer to this one is 2 lots of x minus 5 over 4 squared minus 17 over 8. And that's enough to help you do the 5th worksheet, which is all about completing the square. So well done everyone.